Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is Saturday, May 31st, last day of May, and I'm going to go through some sales that I've had from about Wednesday to today. To be completely transparent, it's been a very low sales week for me. I'm not sure what's going on, maybe everybody getting into summer break or something like that, but the sales have been a little bit down, and that's okay. I know they'll pick back up. And also, I'm surprised that I made as many Poshmark sales as I did because my prior video talking about the ban threat and all that went along with that, I'm surprised that I didn't get shadow banned or something like that. But come along with me and let's see what sold in the last couple of days. Okay, so first off, I'm just going to start with Poshmark and show you guys what sold there. And like I said, I'm pretty happy with Poshmark sales, even though I got threatened to be banned, or not banned, what should I say? Put on suspension for relisting, deleting stuff, and that's an ongoing thing. I've cut my deletion time. So even though things are selling on eBay, I'm waiting a day to take them off of Poshmark, but they're slowly building up and they'll just be on there. And if they double sale, well, I'll just have to take them off. And I did a whole video on this. I know the sound's not that great on that video, but if you turn it all the way up, you'll be able to hear me talk about my strategy with what I did with that. But it's still not the best strategy, but it's the only thing that I can come up with. And it may hurt me in the end because I'm leaving stuff up that's already sold, but hopefully luck will be on my side and those things won't sell. So we'll see. So first off, this MLB Yankees t-shirt for men. It was bought with liquidation and it sold for $10. Great find. Like I said in a prior video, I always pick up any team sport, anything like that, because I know that that stuff will sell and baseball season is right now. So I knew those would sell pretty quickly. Next on Poshmark is this Christopher and Banks jacket. It was this soft denim fabric and it was buttoned down. It was pretty wrinkled when I found it at Goodwill for $1, but I threw it in the wash and, put it in the dryer and it got a lot of the wrinkles out. It's just that kind of fabric that kind of does that all of the time. But that sold for $8 and I was happy with that. That was part of I don't know if I want to call it a death pile or a money pile that I have that I keep just for rainy days and for summer when I can't thrift as much because my daughter's off school. So I kind of went through that pile a couple weeks ago, found that, washed it up, and it sold relatively quickly. And again, my channel is aimed at people that maybe don't think they can do reselling even part-time to make a little extra money because their thrift stores may not have the trending brands or the brands that bring in a lot of money, $20 per sale, but that's okay. You can still sell the basics and you can still rescue all of these items from landfills for a good amount of profit if you have enough items listed, or if you do it part-time, that's fine too. You can make a little bit of extra money on the side and build your business as you go. This also sold on Poshmark. This was a liquidation item for $1. It was an unbranded one-piece swimsuit, and it was from liquidation, and it looked like it was something that was sold on Amazon. So that was probably Amazon liquidation. And I took an offer for that for $9, only because, as I stated previously in other videos, it is swimwear season. I have had this item since last summer, and I take any offers on swimwear right now because I would rather sell it now, make a small profit instead of keep it for a whole nother year. Swimwear does sometimes sell in the winter, fall, spring months, of course, with people going on vacations and everything like that. But I find that it's summer, just push it out, get it going. There's always a way to find new swimwear through liquidation boxes, however you source. So I figured just get your money and move on. Same with shorts. I do that with shorts too. These were the universal thread. They were just a basic pink pull-on shorts. They actually sold for, let's see, I had them listed at 14, but being this was I had multiples of these. These also, I took an order for 9. And I figured it's summer, get them out too, because shorts only sell, well, they do sell again in the winter if people are going on vacation or live in warmer climates, but I find that summer is best to get this stuff out. And I had multiples of these that all sold last year, and this was my last one, so figured get it on out. And I never pay about more than $1 for my items. So pretty much everything I'm showing here, I paid $1 for. I'll let you know if I pay any more than that, but that's a very rare occasion that I will pay up for something. These are the universal thread Lila sandals, beautiful for summer, for vacation, going to the beach, just a basic sandal. And those sold for, I believe, an offer also for 10, because I had multiples of these as well. So these sold for an offer for 10. Next is this was on Poshmark, American Eagle. It was, again, a very summery themed shirt. It has palm trees all over it. It ties in the front, kind of beach wear, resort wear. I sold this for 8. And I kind of went back and forth on the buyer with this. The buyer originally offered me, it was either $4 or $5. And anyone that sells on Poshmark knows if you get an offer for $4, I believe your profit is only $1 or $1.05. So of course I countered that, and I countered back at 10. And I figured, a lot of times with lowball offers, when you counter, sometimes you never hear from the person again. So I was surprised that they countered back 8. And I said, hey, we met in the middle. 8 is fine. Again, another summer item that I want to get out the door. And I was happy with that because I've had that item for probably 2 years now. So $8, I'll take it. And that's my strategy with offers. I know sometimes it's hard when you get an offer for an item that is really low ball and it's pretty insulting. I always counter back because I find that I make a sale a lot of the times when I do that. If you just decline, there's no room for a sale. I know you're mad about the low ball, but it's better to counter because you never know what can happen. I do that on eBay. I do it on Poshmark, anywhere. I will just counter and hope for the best. And like I said, they countered back 8, and that's fine. I was willing to take that. Next on Poshmark, I just listed this yesterday, and this was a Cobby, 100%, just a nice summery blouse, 100% silk, and it was a V-neck, gorgeous blouse. I love it. And that sold within 24 hours for my full asking price of $17. So I was very happy with that sale yesterday. Next, we'll be moving on to Mercari. And on Mercari, I sold this Kona Soul bikini bottom. Now, being it was only the bottom, I didn't have a matching top. It does retail for 18. I have also had this since last summer. They were willing to offer me $3 plus shipping, and I took that because, again, I want to get this stuff out. Just make room for new blessings, as they say. When you get stuff out, you can bring more stuff in. You still made a profit, and that's what you're aiming at. Even if the profit's only $2, that's like being at that store, you buying it, and then saying, okay, now that you bought it for $1, we're going to give you 2. Why not take it? May as well. On Mercari, I also sold this Atlanta Braves, again, baseball season, sportswear. I sold this for $11.52. And sportswear usually does sell at a higher amount because people are in need of this. They may be going to a game, surprise tickets to a game, and they need something quick. So I find that any of this baseball stuff sells, and that was through liquidation, the liquidation store I go to. Now, lastly, we'll do the eBay sales. And the first thing that sold is this American Eagle dress, very summery, multicolor, striped. Perfect if you're going on vacation, really anywhere. And that sold for my full asking price. Or no, it didn't. I had it at $12.50 and it sold for $10.62 plus shipping. And I'll take it. That was a wonderful sale. Next are these Juicy Couture shorts. They were like a Bermuda size 6, and they sold for, I was asking 15, they sold for 10. And that's a good find too, because it's summer and just get it out. I just listed those though. Those haven't been in my store for very long. I think I listed them about 3 weeks ago. So as you can see, these brands, even though they're not, the sought after bolos and things like that, they can sell pretty quickly if you get your title right and you get everything, you get all the pictures in. And like I said, I do video for Poshmark and eBay. And it seems to help, I think, with sales because they can get a better view of that item. So I recommend just doing a quick 20-second show around video. I just like zoom, my camera over, and sometimes I turn it over or I turn the mannequin. Mostly with shorts though, I do not because they're hanging and it's hard to hold the camera and, turn them around. So I usually just get a front view and that works fine. Next is this Forever 21 red, white, and blue striped skirt. This sold for $4.99. I took an offer. Summary item. I've had this skirt for a very long time. I've probably had the skirt since 2020, but this again was in my death pile and I just wanted to get it out and sold. So I took the $4.99, plus it's a very seasonal item with the red, white, and blue patriotic. So I figured get that out as well. Still made a profit. These are universal thread cargo pants. These are brand new with tags. And these sold for not my full asking price, for $16.99. So I got an offer for $3 off and I took that right away because that's a good flip. That was liquidation for $1. Next on eBay is this Gap sweater I've had for quite a while, and that sold for my full asking price of $10.50. And that's, pretty much a non-seasonal item. Sweaters don't tend to sell that often in the summer, so I was happy with that, and that was a full asking price. Next on eBay is this All in Motion sports bra. I had many of these for about 2 years now. I think I had a total of 12 of these in different sizes. This was my absolute last one. And I took an offer on it for 6. And I was happy with that because when it's all said and done, all 12 have sold. Some sold for full asking price, and I've made way more than my money back on this purchase. So happy with that, happy to get it out. One of them was returned probably about a year ago. I don't know if this was the one, but I'm glad that they're all sold and found their homes, and hopefully this one doesn't come back. Next, this was a return. This was returned on eBay about 3 weeks ago. And it sold again for my full asking price of $15. I do not do free returns on eBay. I tried that and I know it works for a lot of people. I know that they say it helps with your visibility. They show your items more. I found that was a nightmare for me. I liked having the top rated plus badge. I liked feeling like my items are being shown more. I felt like I made more sales, maybe a tiny bit more. But the returns, oh, they were coming in like crazy. I felt like people were just maybe even using the item for a day or two and sending it back. And I just couldn't take it. I almost felt abused because I think in 1 week I got 10 returns. So, yeah, I understand that people say that buyers feel more confident, but for me to pay your shipping back, I almost feel like you can use any excuse. I think this was returned on the basis of just didn't like it. However, if you don't have free returns and this person has to pay to ship it back to you, they're going to look at it more closely before they buy it. And they're going to, possibly think about it and say, well, I could wear this. It's not that bad, and not return it. So I quit doing the free returns. Maybe one day I'll try them in the future. But at this point, I'm kind of scared to death because I lost so much money within that month. This was also a return on eBay probably about a month ago. And this was this loft floral button down shirt. And this sold for $11.47 with an offer. And again, I'm glad that it sold again. And I'm glad that both of these returns sold really quickly. They were out the door, back in, and then they're going out again. So hopefully the buyers will be happy with these. Next is this day trip blouse. I've also had this for quite a while. And that sold for an offer for $8. So they just wanted $2 less. And I took that right away. Have had this in my store for quite a while. And lastly is this A New Day polka dot tank top, camisole, things like that, whatever you want to call it. And that sold for an offer for, oh no, that was full price for $9. And that was liquidation as well. So I'm happy with these sales. I'm thankful for them. However, it is a little bit slow. I know with summer slowdown, things can kind of get a little weird here for a while. Last summer, I did not have summer slowdown at all. I had slowdown more during Christmas, New Year's, things like that. So I'm hoping that this summer is as bountiful as last summer, if you could use that word, but we'll see. And I hope you guys are all making sales out there and enjoying your time reselling. And again, don't ever lose hope. Just keep going, keep listing. Everything sells, even basic brands. Unlike the myth that they say, oh, it takes forever to sell these brands. I find that it really doesn't. Most of these items were listed within the last 4 to 6 months. Pretty much, yeah, all of them were except that sports bra, but I had so many of those. So of course, those took a while to sell. And a few others were listed for longer, but I give you hope and I give you what my solds were. And I hope you guys are having wonderful sales this week. And I appreciate you watching. Just like, share, subscribe. I know this channel is just starting. My videos are new and sometimes the audio is horrible. And I'm learning all of this while I'm trying to do the reselling full time. So it's a little bit, I feel a little bit of pressure doing this. And this is why I waited so long to do it, because I knew it would be a learning process for me. I'm 44 and I'm not quick with phones and videos and shorts and doing all this stuff. This stuff is kind of hard for me. So bear with me. And I will see you next time. Bye.